Hey everybody, Scott Weller here. No, I'm not dead. I started at Stability, as many of you know, so I work for Stable Diffusion, the same people who are bringing these fine models, and we've been making a lot of art with them. And some big news today, a couple of big news items today. One is that the new Dream Studio is now out, and it's a rough beta version that we use internally, and we're releasing it up to you guys. So it's replacing the previous version, and it will continue to get new features over time. The goal is to kind of come up with a little bit more iterative solution. So we continue to add things over time instead of looking for big major releases constantly. The goal here is to kind of keep updating it over time. So that's the goal there. So we're going to use that a bit today. I'm going to show you around. There's not a ton of bells and whistles in there yet because we're trying to make this more user-friendly up front. However, there will be power-added tools later on, I'm sure. I mean, there's all kinds of wish list items that we have. So I'm going to show you that. And the other big one is that the 2.2, well, we call it 2.2.2, but you're going to know what is XL Beta, or the XL Beta model is now available in Dream Studio. Now, your first question is going to be like, when do we get it for free? When do we get it for free? I'm sure that that is coming. I don't know the dates and any of that kind of thing, but we're going to play with it today so you can kind of see what it is. And of course, we're looking for feedback on these things. So let us know what you think about the model as you're playing with it. Kind of think of it like a beta test because that's exactly what it is. And I'm sure that there will be iterations of this as well. I mean, just like all these things, everything is changing so quickly, it's impossible to kind of keep up with it. So we're going to try our best here. So today we're going to talk about the new Dream Studio. I'm going to look at the model a bit and let you know that I'm not dead. I'm actually still here. So we're going to get back to more videos. So I'm going to have a lot more videos coming and a lot more live streams as well. It's just been really busy. Obviously, this industry does not stop. It's like a train going downhill. And there's just so much moving so fast. And I took a break from YouTube to kind of catch up on things there. But I feel like now's a good time to kind of kick this channel back up and get everything rolling once again. So without further ado, let's take a look at things. Okay, here we are over in Dream Studio. You can see that it looks a lot different than the previous one, but the functionality is very similar. And again, in the long run, I think there's gonna be a lot of really cool things we're gonna do with this. That really depends on where they wanna go with it. And we're all gonna find out together. So let's just kind of briefly go over it and then we'll talk about the new model. So up at the top, we have generate and edit is soon. So there'll be some really kind of cool features in here. But you have your new models that you can pick from here. So obviously you have your standard 1.5, which we all love. The 2.1 and 2.1 768 models are here. And then the new, the extra large beta. So this is a pretty cool model. I think you're going to find that you love it. And then we also have some new styles here. So this is the kind of the shortcut to inputting a whole bunch of different kinds of words to get a certain look. You can use these as points of departure, and they don't take away from what you're doing over here in the prompt. So they're not going to litter things up. So it allows you to pick a preset and then be able to work with your prompt that way. So there's some dice up here. You can click if you don't know what you want to do and you just want to kind of start somewhere. Feel free. There's a whole bunch of different prompts in here to play with. So some different stuff like that. And then there's a negative prompt, which by default is blank. Now these styles do affect that. But again, we're not cluttering your interface with those things. How this works is magic. And then you're allowed to obviously put things down here. I'm going to make a whole video on negative prompting because I think that there's a lot of misinformation out there. When you see like poorly drawn and extra fingers and extra heads, that is not doing anything. You know, it's just a wasting tokens more or less. Then you got that. We'll talk about uploading images in a bit, and then you have your settings here. Now, currently, the XL Beta is locked at 1:1, but I'm sure this will change. I don't know when, but probably soon. But the XL Beta currently is locked at a 1:1 aspect ratio, and then how many images you want. Now, this is using the same Dream Studio credits you had before. So if you're all anxious and go like, well, I just really want the free model, that's all I want. Remember that this is the company that is bringing you these toys for free, right? So if you're spending money at Starbucks and you're not buying some credits up here, I would consider spending some money here. It's like if you walk into a restaurant and you get a meal for free, you don't stiff the waitress by not leaving a tip, right? If you enjoy the free models, you should buy some credits on here. At least it's a tip of the hat to what Stable Diffusion and Stability is trying to do for the entire art community. So from there, we have some advanced things as well. Just the prompt strength, this is the CFG scale, as you all know it before, the number of steps, and then the seed. And this is about it. It's all you really need with the new XL Beta. Now, if you switch the model to other things, you're going to find you can, again, do the aspect ratio trick and so on. And then down here, it tells you how much those are going to cost as far as credits go. very inexpensive. So you're going to get a lot of money's worth out of that instead of buying that huge video card as your opportunity. So again, I'm just going to leave this like this, and we're going to click Dream and see what happens. So the system works pretty fast, and you're going to get a nice history of where you've been. And then there'll be some other options as well, but this gives you the ability to reuse that same prompt again. You see here, we now have our hearty bowl of chili. So no in-painting needed, nothing like that. It does a pretty decent job. If you click on an image, you can see that we can get what we did before, what the preset was, what model was used there. And it still is noted here as XL Beta 2.2.2. And here you have the seed, the style, and that kind of thing that was used. The steps, prompt strength, and all that other stuff is also here for you, as well as generate variations, which is kind of like loading in an image and then doing a weak blur against it, and then seeing, using that as your initial image. I call it an influence image. Everyone else calls it a knit image, but to me, it's really an influencer. A knit doesn't mean a lot to the general public, so I just called it an influence image. Then obviously you can just set it right at the knit image. It's kind of the same idea. Use the prompt again, and then if you want to download it. So these two buttons are very similar, but if you click generations or variations, it's going to go ahead and launch it right away at 35% strength. So if you're not sure you want that, then click a knit image, and then you can go and adjust it. And you can see that you're going to get very similar, but they are going to be variations on that main image. You can see here how much you want that bowl of chili to be present in this. I do have a bit of an artifacting in my Chrome here, where it doesn't blur around the edges, but that is just an artifact for display. It obviously uses the entire image like this. So the blurrier this image is, the more it's going to vary from the initial one. Now, obviously, this is a beta, so there's a lot of things that are going to get changed over time here. This is a work in progress, as you say. I use this tool a lot to test different things, so I really love it. It's a great tool, and it has a lot of much better feeling than the previous version of the Stable Diffusion dreamstudio. But there you go. So from here, you can do anything you want to do with these images, download them and so on. I also like to upload images into here and then do different things with them. So to do that, obviously just click the upload button. And you can see I've been working hard on different pictures here. Let's grab something outrageous. Let's grab this thing here. And we'll bring up the maiden voyage. And we can... So I've been doing a lot of these kind of these old like Captain Nemo kind of ships. So we're going to do a bowl of chili, but we're going to use the ship as a point of departure and see what happens. Just goofing around like this is really entertaining to me. And I love just the surprise level. There you go. So it's using the same color scheme. It's got some pretty creative stuff going on there. So it's a lot of fun to play with this. And then obviously you can go ahead and change this prompt to whatever you would like. People look a lot better than they do in previous versions. But again, they're not perfect yet. Where there's other things I'm sure that are in the pipeline that are going to address those. But currently, people look a lot better than they do in previous models. And of course, once this is out in the public and you guys are training it, I'm sure you won't really care anymore. But at this point in the game, this is what you get a chance to play with and enjoy. Well, everybody, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope this video was instructional for you, and I'm sure there'll be many more coming right away. I have a few that I want to do as soon as possible. A big one I want to do is negative prompts. It seems like everybody is doing this wrong, so we're going to talk about that probably in the next video. Everybody take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you all next time.